Hey there, ladies and gents, what up? It's your favorite Asian robot, hopefully your favorite DarkTide partner, and in this video, I'm actually going to go through all the veteran feats. Why am I going to do that? Because I promised to do that a long time ago and got really busy and ended up not doing it, so I'm catching up now. Now, if there's anything that I state incorrectly in this video, please feel free to correct me in the comments below, as long as you can back up your claim with some evidence, maybe suggest how I should better test it. That would be absolutely awesome if you could do that. All right. Other than that, I hope you guys will enjoy this in-depth look at all the various feats that a veteran has. First of all, let's go into the veteran's feat selection and let's break down the veteran's innate abilities. All right. So their traits and their abilities. First of all, they've got frag grenades. You guys know this from the recent video I did. All right. Their fragmentation grenades basically explode after a short fuse timer. That's about it. You cannot cook the grenades, although I wish they had that feature, and that's about it. Aura, you and your allies in coherency gain a small amount of ammo whenever any of us kill an elite enemy. All right, it does not work on specials. We will prove this shortly. Make every shot count. We deal 15% extra weak spot damage. And we have an increased ammo reserve for all ranged weapons by 40%. Basically, whatever we equip, this can be proven easily. This one has like 246 as the ammo reserve, but if we look at the gun right now, it currently has, if we max it out, 344. So you have a higher ammo reserve than normal. All right. So I hope that helps you guys out. All right. Now let me showcase the, as I mentioned, if you use, the scavenger feat only gives you ammo whenever you kill an elite enemy. Let's actually do that now. So a mauler, all right. In fact, let me just waste some ammo first. This is far easier to showcase if we have at least some reserves. So right now we've got 314 in our reserve, all right. I'm just gonna kill the mauler.
The body dies.
And it goes from 314 to 318. I got 4 bullets back. Now, if we do the same with a, say a Tox Flamer, notice that we also still get ammo back. Do you guys see that? So this shows that the description is actually incorrect. Elite enemies will also involve these guys, which are specialists. All right, let's try with the mutie. I got four bullets back. 4 bullets back. All right, so the description for this one trait is incorrect. You will get ammo back whether you kill an elite. All right. As you can see, or a specialist, as you can see. Yeah, easy enough. Okay, great. So now that you understand the basic traits of the veteran, we can move on. All right, we will now assess the first column of feats. All right, I'm gonna turn my cam off for this in just a moment. Okay. Just that. Okay. Okay. Sorry about that. There we go. So for the first column of feats, you've got, this is your toughness regeneration column. We have confirmed kill, which replenishes 25% toughness on elite kill, and a further 25% toughness over time. The cool thing about this is that it stacks. All right, let me prove it to you. All right, here's the insane thing. Keep an eye on the buffs next to my name down the bottom. All right. Okay, I kill one, right? Do you see that buff that I just got? And I get another. And you can just keep stacking the buffs. Every time you kill an elite, another buff will stack, which means that you can replenish as much toughness as there are elites on the screen. All right. So unlike with the Psyker feats, you're not limited to just killing one and then refreshing the same buff. No, this is one of the small unfair things about the veteran, because the Psyker, like for example, gains toughness back every time they gain a warp charge, but it just refreshes the buff if they kill another elite. The veteran's one does not do this. The veteran's one stacks, which is awesome. Exhilarating takedown replenishes 10% toughness on a range weak spot kill. This one works as described. At arm's length. Okay, this one's an interesting one. When you equip at arm's length, you will see a buff icon that is down the bottom of the screen. When it is blurred out, it is not active, but if you back away from enemies enough, you'll see it highlighted. When it is highlighted, it is active. Please remember this. This is extremely important because this is how you can tell how often this is active for you. I do not like using it because for the most of the time for me, it ends up being grayed out because any one of these smaller enemies could be next to me. All right, maintaining 8 meters of distance ain't exactly that easy. This is 11 meters. All right, yeah. So just think about it before you use this one. Okay, moving on to column 2. We've got Sniper. Okay, Sniper is the basics of the basics. It deals up to 20% increased range damage based on how far away you are from the target. But how far is how far away? Okay. Now, let's start with a little test, okay? The Scab Mauler is 4 meters away. I deal 91 damage. At 9 meters away, still 91 damage. 10 meters away, still 91 damage. All right, 12 meters away, still 91 damage. All right, 14 meters away, still 91. 15 meters away, 95. The sniper bonus, contrary to my previous test where I said it kicks in after 10 meters, I didn't realize that it was because of the last gun reverse damage fall off. All right, if you use an infantry autogun to test it, it's a lot clearer. The bonus only kicks in at 15 meters. You keep gaining. All right, you can keep gaining up until 30 meters away. 30 meters is the max. All right, beyond 30 meters, you do not gain anything further. Okay, so that is how the feat works, and it is it can be pretty sad, to be honest. So make sure to test clearly whether or not you're hitting a breakpoint with it. 15 meters is a very long distance, and honestly, most of your fights are up close and personal. Tactical reload. What does tactical reload do? Tactical reload does exactly what it says. All right. Let's first do a simple test. All right. If I reload without tactical reload, it looks like that. Let's put the tactical reload feat on. As long as you've got bullets in the magazine, the reload is noticeably faster. Okay? It is faster by 20%, but whether this benefits you is genuinely up to your weapon and play style. Me personally, my favorite is Demolition Stockpile. You get a grenade back every 60 seconds. In my recent video, I talked about how grenades are mostly for utility over damage. This is why I like to use this feat, because I like to use a lot of utility with my grenades. Okay? Bio-optic targeting. Okay, let's move on to column 3 now. And, sorry, I don't know why I exited that. Sometimes I do dumb things. Bio-optic targeting is very straightforward. Volley fire will designate non-Ogryn elites and specialists as priority targets for all allies in coherency. However, it will only, and this is a very interesting thing, it will only target elites and specialists for your allies. This is an exception if somebody is a veteran. If somebody is a veteran and they're also running the counterfire feat, if somebody else has bio-optic targeting and I'm running the counterfire feat, I will also see all the shooters as priority targets. Same with the bigger they are, I will also see all monstrosities as targets, which I thought was very interesting. So that's a little something nice that I learned along the way. Okay, that is that, and that's bio-optic targeting. It's usually useful because elites and specialists can be helpful for your team. Now, your volley fire ability, I know I didn't discuss it at the start, but what I want to explain now, especially in connection with this, is that volley fire allows you to enter a ranged stance for 5 seconds. You will instantly equip your ranged weapon and designate nearby non-Ogryn elite and specialist enemies as priority targets. During this stance, you deal 50% extra range damage. One special thing that I didn't realize about this is that volley fire makes you completely immune to suppression. I had previously come to an incorrect conclusion because I didn't know about camera sway intensity, and I thought I was getting suppressed even while volley fire was on. Turns out that it was just camera sway intensity getting in my way. So I sincerely apologize for that, especially in the last gun build video. That was unfortunately an incorrect conclusion, and many people have pointed it out since then. I have tested Unwavering Focus since then, and it is great on some builds. I tend to use it on some builds. Do I still believe in Camo Expert? Yes, absolutely do. But depends on the build. Because for some builds where you're moving and shooting, that is not a good idea. If you have to move and shoot to position yourself well, and honestly, I've grown used to that style because I like auto guns and the bolter, it is much healthier to learn how to use Unwavering Focus as opposed to Camo Expert, because Camo Expert breaks if you make even the smallest movement. Okay, so be aware of that. Okay, coming back to the feats again. All right. Remember that you are immune to suppression when using this. For column 3, we've got Bioptic Targeting, which helps you paint out the elites and specialists for your allies. Demolition Team will allow you and your allies in coherency to have a 5% chance to gain a grenade on elite enemy kill. I have found this to be quite useless 95% of the time because I barely get a grenade back. Elites aren't that common. Okay, with a low 5% chance, yeah, you're not going to be getting many grenades. To be fair, it's few and far between, once in a very long while. Some people still take this if they want to help out their teammates. Maybe an Ogryn or a Zealot can magically get a grenade back, but keep in mind that it only triggers on elite kill. Covering fire: when you kill an enemy with a range attack, allies in melee range of the attack replenish 10% toughness. Okay, this sounds good on paper. The problem with this particular ability, and now that I'm no longer toward the left-hand side, I can now return, so you can now watch my disembodied body explain this all to you. The problem with covering fire is that when your ally is in melee range of the target you want to kill with the range attack, they often block your shots. So although this sounds great in paper, it's not something that I use really often. So I don't actually like to use covering fire, which is why for most missions, I will just take Bioptic Targeting. Covering fire is technically more useful, but I find that my shots are often blocked. And this tends to be a problem. With Bioptic Targeting, at least, I know that I am being useful to the team. And it can also help people suss out where enemies are. Downside is that sometimes you paint a target. Let's say you're playing an elite killer role with the bolter, somebody else steals your kill, which means that you don't get to refresh sustained fire and you don't get your toughness back. So when playing with veterans, assuming they are proper elite killers, you can usually suss this out pretty quickly within the first engagement. Please do allow them their elite kills so that they can refresh this for longer. Yeah. Okay, column 4, Unwavering Focus will give you 75% toughness damage reduction from range attacks only during volley fire. It does not help your melee attacks. So if an enemy is in melee range of you, you can turn on Unwavering Toughness. You can turn on your volley fire, but it's really not going to save you. Okay, so use it when you're under range threat, not under melee threat. Okay, timing it is important. One other thing that you would want to know, if you've played the Zealot, you know how much 75% toughness damage reduction is. It is super valuable. You can literally stand in enemy gunfire and just not care. Okay, duck and dive. If you do any kind of dodge, sprint, all right, to get out of enemy gunfire, all right, you will be able to recover stamina. However, here's the problem that I should make you aware of. The veteran takes 200% damage while sprinting. This was data mined info brought by another YouTuber. I can't remember who it was, but yeah, you want to dodge and slide, okay, if you ever want to use duck and dive. I personally absolutely hate it. It doesn't work for me past T3, mostly because I have no idea how to properly use this. It is often used in conjunction with Deadshot feat, but well, not many people can use it well. Camo Expert. It works as the description says. While standing still, enemies are significantly less likely to target you. Some people will find an elevated position and just stand still there and snipe. That is a particular playstyle that some people are used to. It does work pretty well. Like I said, depending on how you play the game, Camo Expert can be very useful. I like it if I'm playing a very sharp sniper role. Which I sometimes do if I'm running with people I know. Most of the time, if I'm running with randos, Unwavering Focus is superior because you will have to position yourself more aggressively and wade into enemy fire more often. Okay, that covers column 4. When it comes to column 5, okay, let me start with Fragstorm. Fragstorm, plain and simple, it just applies a bleed. You guys would have seen this in the grenade video. If you haven't checked it out, you can. The range is fairly long, and as you can see, the bleed does fairly significant extra damage. All right, it can be useful as a supplement to horde clear. As I covered in my video, I don't view it as pure damage because you shouldn't be using it as the only means of damage you have. People get fooled by this because of the fact that enemies have lower hit points in T1, T2, T3. As opposed to T4, T5. So this is currently a Damnation Psychanium. As you can see, it doesn't result in a kill. All right, just be aware of that. But Fragstorm is very useful, and you can use the Fragstorm to synergize with Zealots and Ogrins who are also using bleed feats. So keep that in mind, it's very useful for that. Deadshot. Okay, this one is very simple. While you're using your ranged weapons alternate fire, you have 25% increased critical hit chance and 60% reduced sway, but you lose 10% stamina every second and an additional 5% for each shot. Now, once you equip it, check it out. Your stamina will just start draining while you're ADSing, right? You have the bonus while your stamina is still up, but here's the problem. Once you're at 0 stamina, you don't receive the bonus. So Deadshot is only for people who quickscope, shoot, and then move on. All right, it is very good for snipers, not exactly good for the average person. So you have to be very careful with it. All right, let's try. As you can see, I have increased criticals, but once the benefits are gone, that's it. See, no more benefits. All right, and I do not gain any of the benefits as long as I'm ADSing. All right, but when I have the benefits, my sway crit chance is all significantly increased, which is really nice. As you can see, I crit way more while I had the benefit on. Okay. So that's a simple way of showing it to you. Is Deadshot useful? On some weapons, yes. If you're using a weapon where one shot, one kill is your style, Deadshot can be very helpful. All right. But it's genuinely up to you whether you're going to use Deadshot, Fragstorm. Or, if you need to reload quickly, one after another is hella useful. Basically, after an elite kill, like so, your reload speed is significantly increased. All right. You also don't have to reload immediately after the elite kill. There's about a 4 or 5 second window, so you can still get a couple of other kills and then benefit from one after another. All right. I'm not sure what the duration is for the exact window because you don't receive a buff icon. Watch this. Even if I kill this elite, the only buff icon I'm receiving is from my toughness. All right. If you just want proof of that, I can just remove that. All right. I can just remove that entirely. All right, we do so again. See, no buff icon. Okay, so this one doesn't actually tell you when you're getting the one after another buff, so you have to be careful with that. All right, on to the last column, which I'm sure you guys have been waiting for. These 3 feats are all pretty awesome. Sustained fire. What does sustained fire do? Pretty much, whenever you trigger it, it'll reload your weapon. So let's say I'm on my melee right now. As you can see, I've only got 16 rounds in my auto gun. I trigger it, instant equip, and bada bing, bada boom. I'm ready to fire and kill. Okay, makes sense, yeah? That is what sustained fire does. Okay, counterfire. Okay, counterfire is pretty awesome. Counterfire is what veterans use on last guns, auto guns, stuff like that. Why? Because you get to do some swanky shit. Watch this. It paints all shooters, as well as the elites and specialists, as designated targets. However, and it also increases weak spot damage, turning you into a very, very deadly headshot sniper. Ideally, this is used with auto guns or with, even in Damnation, by the way. This simple auto gun will guarantee a headshot kill. It's best used with last guns, really, because you can basically make it last, assuming you have all these targets. You can make it last even longer than the duration on the buff, like so. You can make it effectively last forever. All right, so that's something you might want to be aware of. See, it'll just keep lasting and lasting and lasting. But I do have to tell you that the downside to it is that it doesn't restore your toughness. So if you activate it in a already shit situation, yeah, there's nothing you can do with that. I personally like it a lot if I'm running weapons where I'm sniping a lot of the ranged enemies, such as the last gun, the auto guns. I don't tend to use it with the bolter, which I rely on sustained fire for. But again, it's up to you how you want to run it. All right, 25% extra weak spot damage is pretty good. Sustained fire does not give you any damage buffs, so that's something to be aware of. The bigger they are. Ah, yes. Okay, this one is an interesting one. All right, I'm gonna showcase this with a. All right, the bigger they are allows you to designate an Ogryn, all Ogryns as priority targets. You will deal 50% more damage to them, including on weak spot. All right, not exactly great for crushers, but great for reapers, and that's pretty much the only one you're gonna get benefit out of because you're not gonna get to shoot bulwarks much. All right, but it does help against bosses, FYI. So that is something that some people have thought about. Do I really like it? Not exactly, because what the hell am I gonna shoot exactly? All right, I tend to. You've only got a 5-second window, so it mainly helps me to take out reapers. Which, if I do this, I do it with counterfire anyway, because the 25% weakness damage bonus is really helpful. But the monstrosity value is what people tend to use it for. Again, it's genuinely up to you what your role is in the team, but with counterfire, I can take out a Reaper pretty effectively anyway. So that's something to be aware of. All right. I genuinely don't use the bigger they are that much. All right. Sustained fire and counterfire are pretty much my two go-tos depending on my build. And that about covers every single one of the veteran feats. I hope this was helpful to you. Thank you so much for watching this video. Again, I hope that you will like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy this video. The likes especially help us out quite a bit and push us higher in the algorithm. If you want to support this channel, you want to see me make more content, then I'm going to be a bit shameless here because, well, getting my music career off the ground is a lot more expensive than I thought. You can choose to help us out by either tipping, if you got spare change, or you can become a channel member, and that also helps to contribute to channel running expenses. And of course, at the end of every video, I do thank my channel members. So starting right at the top tier, DeathDawning982 is at Plus Ultra. Thank you so much. We've got Jerry Fast, Rogue Assassin, Oh Mr. Cream Puff, and Zach MG. They're all prestige members. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to all of our honored robots as well. Underpaid Enlisted Soldier, I'm Peeps, Syed Assad Bukhari, Pringle Bread, Jordan Ritchie, Tuan De Gwen, Miss Eve, Tyler King, Brian Lancaster, The Oculus, Coda CMF, Kami SMH, Jammer Boy, Conrad C, Nate the Great, Curtis Schussler, MJ, Corey Ryu, Benjamin Savage, Lady Neo, Greasy Burger, and Stefan Geyer. Thank you to all of our cool bots as well. You guys are amazing, and I will see you all on the next one. All right? Y'all have fun now.